Welcome back to The Professional Nomad. I'm your host, Michelle, and this is a podcast about the people who make Rockford what it is. The professionals, entrepreneurs, educators, leaders, creatives, and community members who are building meaningful careers while strengthening our community one story at a time. The sounds that you just heard at the beginning of this episode were produced by the vibration and resonance of the singing bowls that were brought to us by today's guests. Thank you, Tami. One of the things I've come to appreciate, both as a nurse and as a yoga instructor, is that every profession has a deeper purpose than what we see on the surface. Sometimes that purpose is healing. Sometimes it's teaching. Sometimes it's creating spaces where people feel seen, supported, and connected. Today's conversation is especially meaningful to me because my own yoga journey began at Namaste Studios in 2018. At the time, I was working toward my Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Like many nursing students, I was balancing school, work, clinicals, and trying to figure out who I was becoming. Walking into my first yoga class at Namaste gave me something I didn't even know I needed, a place to slow down, breathe, and simply be present. Years later, after becoming a nurse, I completed my own 200-hour yoga teacher training. Looking back, it's incredible to realize that one class at Namaste became the beginning of a journey that continues to shape both my personal and professional life. So, today's episode feels a little like coming full circle. Today, I'm honored to welcome Tami Bogard, owner of Namaste Studios inside Forest City Float here in Rockford. Tami has built far more than a yoga studio. She's created a community where people can reconnect with themselves, support one another, and discover that wellness is about so much more than physical movement. Tami, thank you so much for being here. Okay, Tami, let's start with your story. When someone asks what you do, what's the answer you usually give? And what's the answer you wish people understood?
I am a yoga instructor and a Qigong instructor. I am an acupressurist and a Reiki master and a somatic body worker. I'm a float pod facilitator. But what I really wish people understood is that everything I do, I'm regulating nervous systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's co-regulation. And so whenever anybody's in my vicinity and we're doing whatever we're doing, because my nervous system is regulated, I can co-regulate and regulate their nervous systems as well.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I don't know if I'm able to fully comprehend the way that it feels and the presence of you that you pick up through your teaching while you're somebody who's taking your class. I love when I'm your student because everything that you just explained is felt in a way that you can only explain when you feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
So Tami, tell us more about yourself. How did yoga first become part of your life?
Wow. I am a mother of 2 adult men. I have been married to my husband, Ben, and have had a wonderful, amazing 42-year marriage with him. I wanted to tell you like a lot of stuff about me that you might not even know. So I bake my own sourdough bread, make my own sourdough. I grow my own herbs, and I grow my own tomatoes. And when I was a teenager, I thought I wanted to be an accountant.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought I wanted to be an accountant. Now, my sister was the person that was the gymnast and the cheerleader and so forth and athletics. And I was very much the academic. And like, I would bring all of my books to school with me and all my books home with me, just in case I wanted to do extra. Yeah. And so it's very interesting that and it would have been the early 90s, I started to notice and see programming on like ESPN for Jalad Janklowitz and Bodies in Motion. He would do an aerobic thing. And then Corey Everson, she was a bodybuilder, and just those two were very inspiring to me. So I became a personal fitness trainer. And in 1991, I got my American Council on Exercise personal trainer certification, and I got a job at the YMCA.
Wow, right out of the bat.
Right, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And it was with two little ones tagging along with me always, and Mike and Dan. And so my supervisor, who at the time at that YMCA down by the river, had so many innovative, amazing, creative people that were working there. My supervisor being one of them, Jillian Trenier. She asked me if I would like to go to a yoga class with her. So this is like the first yoga class at the YMCA in Rockford.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we go to this YMCA yoga class, and we walk in, and there are mats all over the floor, but they're not yoga mats. They're gym mats. 3-inch tall, like the red, white, and blue, like the fold-up kind that go in the gym that hang on the wall.
No way. Really?
Yeah. And so they're so thick, you just pitched and rolled, and they're just almost impossible. I thought to myself, okay, they said you can do yoga, but they didn't get it. They didn't like supply Mary Beth with what she needed. So that was kind of comical.
Goodness.
We just laughed the whole time.
I did not know. I've never heard this story before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Yeah.
And that was the very first.
That's my very first yoga class.
Yoga class.
And from then on, I was just even on those funky mats, I was just totally won over. That yeah, it was pretty special.
Wow. And then at what point did you realize this was more than a hobby or something that you liked to do?
Yeah. So 3 years went by, and then my same supervisor, Jillian, suggested to me that maybe I should teach. Maybe I should teach yoga. And I thought to myself, oh, no, I want yoga to be mine. I want it to be mine. Like, so I go to class, and then I just do yoga, and somebody's teaching me. I said, I don't want to give that up and like make it. And then I thought, oh, but look at how much more I can do for people, because it previously was, weightlifting and aerobic training and a little bit on nutrition and stretching and so forth. And I thought, oh, I can help people so much more. So that's when it changed, when I had that invitation.
That's incredible. What inspired you to create Namaste Studios here in Rockford?
That is a very interesting question. So
I'm curious.
So I've had people ask me, oh my gosh, weren't you just so crazy excited when you had your dream of opening a yoga studio? And I said, well, I never thought I was going to. It was never a dream of mine. I never thought of it. So I, at the time, was teaching yoga out of Pranayama Yoga Studio, which is three blocks up the street on East State Street. And my original first teachers, Mary Beth Robertson and Joan Hurd. And Joan Hurd just so happens to be mother of Emily Hurd Christensen of the Norwegian.
Okay.
Yeah. Was my first yoga teacher. And so they owned Pranayama. And at the time, they were thinking of maybe being done and passing the torch. And they asked me if I wanted to take it over. And they said, and I said, it just wasn't what I wanted at the time. And so I passed. And the other person that they asked happened to be an Iyengar yoga teacher. And what happens with Iyengar yoga teacher studios is that you have an Iyengar studio. If you want to be listed as an Iyengar studio by the organization, you can't have anybody else teaching any other type of yoga there.
Huh.
So I was asked to leave.
Oh.
My home studio.
Oh.
And this was at the same period of time when my husband Ben was first diagnosed with a brain tumor. And so we were having it.
Yeah.
Everything was happening at the same time.
Seriously.
2008 market crash, you name it, was all going down. And so, yeah. And so it was a extremely bitter, cold winter day. And I was asked to go over to the studio. And they told me that I had to not teach there anymore. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And it ended up turning out to be the most beautiful fledgling moment. I was kicked out of the nest, big time. And it hurt. It really hurt. And it was scary because Benny was just diagnosed, lost a job because of it. And so we were like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But then I just started to ask some of my clients if they knew of anybody who had any rental property. And one person that I had been doing some private yoga sessions with said, I just so happen to have some property. So I went to this property. I walked up the stairs, the 22 stairs, and I turned to the right and went into the room, which is about 600 square foot, brick wall, 2 windows in the front. And I'm like, this is exactly like pranayama. I can't do that. I can't redo pranayama. And so I looked over across the hall and I'm like, what about this space? 750 square foot with 7 ginormous windows. And yeah. And that's how
You're kidding.
How we got the studio.
This is the same studio that you're teaching in right now.
Yes.
That you currently.
Yes.
Tammy, I never knew that. It just makes that space even more special. There always has been this feeling. You go up those 22 steps and then you would arrive at the top. Now the studio's expanded quite a bit, but you would just turn to the left. You open that door and you're right in the studio. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm speechless though. I was speechless through when you were explaining everything that was going on. So to go back to the initial question of somebody asking, what inspired you, or aren't you so excited that you were able to have your dream come true? And to know that there was inspiration there, but the time that everything was coming together was when there were so many things concurrently happening in your life.
Yeah.
So it shows absolutely how resilient that you are as an individual. And I absolutely love hearing that story. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
You know the yin-yang symbol?
Yeah.
And then the hub in the middle. So things rise and fall and rise and fall. And it's very indicative of just when you think it's the worst thing that could happen to you, it turns out to be the best thing that could have ever happened to you.
You just gave me goosebumps. I just had chills. What does community mean to you?
I think that community, to me, means deep relationships. So relationships that are kind of forged organically. So when people come into the studio and I don't ask people what they do for a living. I don't ask anything about their life whatsoever. So our relationship at the studio is that, and it's very, very raw. It's very basic. It's kind of like the idea, the yogic tradition idea that of your original self.
Mm-hmm.
So that if there's nothing that you can do that would make you any better, and then there's nothing that you could do that would make you any lesser than your original self. So that's the way we kind of like to keep it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And it builds community.
It does. It truly does.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you create a space where people feel comfortable enough to simply show up?
When Benny and I decided that we were going to open the yoga studio, the idea was that we were going to build the yoga studio upon the thought of transparency. And so we're transparent. Something happens, we tell people about it. We don't make some kind of false facade that we're perfect, because we're human. And so transparency is the key. And I think that because we step forward with that transparency, everybody else feels like they can be transparent as well. And when you don't have those facades up and you aren't pretending to be something else, then you feel safe in your own skin.
I definitely enjoyed the communication and the transparency. There's been, situations where it's the weather but you get those communications. So that way it's like, oh, wow, like that was very real. And you're right, not having that facade,
Yeah.
it does make you feel a lot more safe. So that's beautiful. Have you witnessed someone else's life change because they found yoga?
Yes. Many times, often in very small ways, but I'll tell you the biggest way. In 2014, we were asked to participate in a research study with Aaron Fisher, who at the time, and still is, teaching psychology out at Rock Valley College. And this was for her dissertation to get her doctorate.
Wow.
Yeah. So we ran 3 sets of classes, 8 weeks long, 1 yoga class a week with 15 women in 3 different sets. All of the women had PTSD as a result of sexual assault. And so the idea was to take a look at yoga in its very most basic form and see if it had any effect on dealing with the symptomology of PTSD. And so throughout each one of the sets, throughout each one of the weeks, 1 through 8, I could see these women literally change. I mean, some who were feeling so much pain in their body from moving at the beginning, then feeling able to move and express themselves in that class.
Wow.
Some women reported that if they were sitting with their back to the door anywhere ever, they would feel extremely nervous,
Mm.
or hearing loud noises outside, it would, their hypervigilance would have them,
Yeah.
their it would have them just very anxious. And so at the end of the sessions, they would tell me, I can hear noises outside. I can hear the cars go by, and it's not shocking to me. It doesn't make me feel nervous or anything. And so that is and I had about a handful of those women continue taking yoga for quite a while afterwards.
That is absolutely life-changing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the other listeners right now had the same response that I did as to hearing that very emotional, just the whole picture of strength and giving people back some part of themselves. That just touched me so much. Thank you.
It was one of the most beautiful things I ever had the opportunity to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Very humbling.
Why do you think spaces like this are important in today's world?
Good question. Very good question.
Kind of a big one.
Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is that our society, at least here in the United States, is very much leveraged on productivity and getting shit done.
Yes, it is. You hit that one right on the head. Yes, yes.
And so when people come to the yoga studio and we practice yoga, my verbiage is always, you move to the next pose and space and asana whenever you're ready. And I give people full permission to not do anything or do something. And I am the permission giver. I feel like I am the one who tells everyone they don't have to feel obligated to do anything here. Nothing. You just do what feels good to you. And I hope that spills over into the rest of their lives.
You know what's funny? In my own experience with being a yoga instructor, the giving the permission to, and followed by whether they rest or they continue on with, it's such I receive such a positive response when I see certain people take their time and getting into that space truly, and they are just still laying there. So I will say that as a student, my experience is just like going at my own pace and having that permission. When you receive that, it really unlocks something really deep.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I don't always hear the feedback from that. I see it and I feel it.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely felt.
Yeah.
And as someone who found yoga during nursing school, I know firsthand how powerful it can be to have a place where you're allowed to simply breathe. People often think yoga is about flexibility, but I think both of us know it's so much deeper than that. What does wellness mean to you today?
I feel like things have changed quite a bit in my thought processes around that. And I feel today that mental health, mental wellness creates physical health and physical wellness. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong, obviously, nothing wrong with being strong, with weightlifting and feeling strong. And there's nothing obviously wrong with having a good cardiovascular system and getting like good lung capacity and so forth. But you can have both of those and not be mentally, not to have the mental health. And then that in turn can start chronic illness, which is underlying and not noticed as much because the physical appearance is looking fine. So the more I dive into health and wellness, the more I realize that the mental health, mental wellness it's everything.
Yeah, it does seem to be that feedback loop in the way that you described it with the mental health connecting, of course, mind, body, and everything in between, making that more of a continuous flow, lot more studies and research and things coming out on media that are really showing that there is a correlation.
Yeah.
So it's
There definitely
exciting.
is.
Yeah. You stay very informed, and I'm always very appreciative. One of the things, if you have not taken one of Tami's classes, is she will take her time and explain what we're working and why something that we're doing is beneficial. Not just teach the what we're doing, but really making that connection, I think, is very valuable. And yeah, I love that you share your knowledge every chance that you get.
I'm such a nerd. I can't help it. I don't think that there's any way that I wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is the biggest misconception people have about yoga? The long pause.
I know. I think that many people come to yoga for the physical aspects.
Yeah.
I think they come and they think that they're going to get fit and it's going to help them. And it will. It definitely will. But I think that they see it for the physical aspects only. And it takes a little while. Like people will check their Fitbits to see, did I burn enough? And why am I just going to nudge them to get more busy or, but after a few months, I think people really start to realize the mental health aspects of it, coping skills, how to deal with adversity, things like that just start to fold themselves in. And I think that people really get surprised. They don't expect it. I didn't expect it when I first started taking yoga classes, that would be able to do that.
Whoa. Yeah. I've definitely been in studios, even the one that I previously taught in, where there were students that I've taken class with. You can definitely tell, like, they are going to try to close their rings on their Apple Watch. And I kind of was distracted by it, honestly. So that's one that I can kind of relate to and say that it is probably one of the most unfortunate things to kind of have to mitigate while you're in that space.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, you're using your body, but you're also doing the opposite. We're trying to kind of go back in the relaxed state of your state of mind rather than ramping it up.
Right.
And getting your heart pumping that way.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself through teaching?
I found out that as passionate as I am about things, I also have somewhat of an impatience with the process. So sometimes, and not presently, but like in the last decade or 2 decades before. So what I really noticed about myself was that I was impatient with getting the results, and if I were to do a certain pose, I wanted to get to the most advanced portion of it as soon as I could. Go straight to the top. It's kind of my Leo.
Yeah, absolutely. That Leo spirit.
Yeah. So I really, that really surprised me, because I've always thought of myself as a very patient person. And then I guess I really wasn't looking at how I was working with myself.
Mm.
And now I am huge into the journey. And I don't care how long it takes. So I've like got 90-year-old goals.
Yeah.
Not that it'll take me 90 years, but when I become 90, I will be able to do a handstand out of a forward bend. That's my goal.
Wow.
So
I'm here for it.
I got a few decades.
Yeah. I really do want to be able to witness that posture come into fruition, and watching a 90-year-old Tammy doing it will just be just even better. As a business owner, what's been one of your greatest challenges?
Separating the business side from the yoga side. So worrying about paying the rent and being able to take those concerns and separate them from all the other work that I do, or become a little bit more at ease about the whole thing. So yeah, especially in the last 5 years, 6 years, where things have been very difficult.
That post-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That does sound difficult.
Yeah.
What keeps you inspired after all of these years?
I love it when I see somebody do something in yoga that they didn't think they could do.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah. So I'll see little certain things about people in the way they move their bodies, in the way they're able to do X, Y, or Z posture. And I will get the idea to give them the idea and show them something, and encourage them to give it a try. And in yoga, it's always calculated risk. Mm-hmm. I'll never encourage anybody to do anything that's dangerous for themselves. And I'll know that the prior things I've seen them do allow them to be able to try this other thing. And so, yeah. And then to see them, and it comes back to being like play, because we get so childlike when we've achieved something in a yoga posture or asana that we didn't think we could do.
I want to say, I was sitting here trying to rack my brain, because I've had multiple aha moments while taking class with you, where you have seen me and just the smallest adjustment, and it changes everything. The whole way that you experience that posture completely changes, and it's just like, oh, I've been doing this really poorly. So I will say it's so exciting as a teacher and a student, having and experiencing those aha moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Tammy, are you ready? It's time for the local plug. Let's celebrate Rockford a little. So what's a hidden gem you wish more people knew about?
Well, I know you know about it, but I think the Norwegian has to be the one.
Definitely.
Their creative, ever evolving, changing menu, their ability to expand on flavors and creativity with dishes, and the ambiance. Yeah.
It's so true. I'm just sitting here nodding my head to
Yeah.
all of the things because
The
I'm just like,
Norwegian.
yeah, if you have not made your way down to Norwegian yet, the Norwegian it's phenomenal. And a day and evening, totally different vibes, but amazing food, amazing people who work there and have been keeping that whole restaurant and operation running so well. So check it out. Is there a local nonprofit business or organization you would love to recognize?
What I thought of was, and I haven't been there yet, but it's based on the premise and what I've heard about them. And I know that you recently experienced it for the first time yourself. Um, the restaurant Plume.
Okay, yeah.
So, what I know about Plume is that the owner works really hard and very diligently about recreating Italian cuisine at its authenticness.
It is, yeah, top
Didn't say that right,
tier.
but yeah. And
No,
its authenticity.
true. The pasta is phenomenal. I've not been to Italy, but there's a difference between pasta at Plume versus pasta at just your regular generic Italian restaurant, maybe a chain. Um, the appreciation that they take in creating their pasta dishes, you can feel it on every single taste bud. It's just such amazing dining experience. I did go with my boyfriend for his birthday.
Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to go. I want to bring my whole family. One thing that we do every Sunday, we call it the test kitchen. We work on perfecting homemade pizza.
Oh, wow.
So everything from the sauce to the dough, everything's made from
Wait,
scratch.
So
every week.
so if you get to this level where you've achieved the perfect pizza, are we gonna be able to try it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I say to Mike, who's the main chef, my son Michael.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, that was the best one yet. And then the next weekend, oh, that was the best one yet. Oh, that was the best one yet. So yeah, he kind of does what she does at Plume.
Wow.
Can't wait to take them there.
Amazing. Plume, check them out. And where do you go, Tami, when you need to disconnect and recharge?
I disconnect and recharge at my home. That's where I go. Yep. If I had to think of something else, I probably would have to make something up because I just don't. This is what I do. And our family kind of nicknames it the sanctuary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's very lived in. We have a small house. I don't use any chemicals or fragrances in the house, so it's very, very non-allergenic. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The sanctuary.
The sanctuary. No, it's
Daniel
absolutely
calls it that
wonderful.
most often because he lives in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. So I believe when I was living in Chicago and I would come back and spend time at my mom's house, just taking a moment and being in the backyard and just walking with your feet on the grass and just hearing none of that like noise pollution that you have in the city. So it definitely felt like you were somewhere very peaceful, and I think the sanctuary is a perfect name for that. Well, it sounds like somewhere I may need to recharge.
My backyard is open to you anytime.
Yes, thank you. What's one thing about Rockford that deserves more appreciation?
So when my boys were young, I was a scoutmaster for 9 years.
So cool.
And we went on monthly hikes in all the different parks. And a lot of the people who went on those hikes with us, the kids and their parents that brought them, would always say, I never even knew this was here. Are you kidding me? I never even knew this was here.
Wow.
And so we would go to all different types of hiking trails and all different parks. I mean, Winnebago County at that time had over 850 recreational areas and parks available in the vicinity. And so we truly are the forest city.
So these are parks that you went hiking in Rockford?
Yeah. Like, state parks or Rockford Park District Park, yep.
I guess I never viewed the forest city in that way. I viewed it more as like the trees per neighborhood.
And that totally is it. But it is in addition to that, we have, I would say if you Googled it or whatever, we probably have more recreational areas than most cities in the United States.
Wow. I'm actually really excited about going on a walk later today. So you may have just inspired me to look into somewhere new that I haven't been, a new trail. Before I let you go, I have one last question. When people hear your name years from now, what do you hope they remember you for?
I hope they remember how good I made them feel. Because that really means a lot to me.
I knew this question was going to get me emotional. Well, that's
what I'm here for.
No, that is a beautiful perspective, Tami. I think it's a reminder that our legacy isn't defined by our titles. It's built through the lives we touch and the communities we help create. Tami, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story. As I prepared for today's conversation, I kept thinking about that very first yoga class I took at Namaste Studios back in 2018. At the time, I never could have imagined that years later I'd become a nurse, a fellow yoga instructor, and be sitting here interviewing the woman who first introduced me to the practice that always feels like home. Life really does have a way of coming full circle. If there's one thing I hope listeners take away from today's conversation, it's that healing can happen in many different ways. Sometimes it's through medicine, sometimes it's through movement, and sometimes it's simply because someone created a space where you feel welcomed exactly as you are. Tami, thank you for creating that space, not just for me, but for so many other people in our community. And thank you for spending part of your day with us. If today's conversation inspired you, I'd love for you to share this episode with someone who could use the reminder. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep investing in the people and places that shape your story. Wherever your journey takes you, remember, you matter. As always, a huge thank you to the talented people who help bring the professional nomad to life. This episode was produced by Michelle Markley and Corey Wicklund, hosted by Michelle Markley. Cover art for the professional nomad, created by Benjo Blocks. Find him at Benjo Blocks on Instagram. Audio and creative operations producer, Corey Wicklund. Music featured by Lonely Teenage. And a special thank you to Tami Bogard of Namaste Studios at Forest City Float for joining us today and for the incredible impact she's had on our community. And to our listeners, thank you for spending your time with us, supporting local stories, and being a part of this journey. We'll see you next time on The Professional Nomad.